Hey everybody, we're here at danshamptons.com and Chris Jones, the man behind Music to Know. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us about this big festival. How'd you come up with this idea?
I'm obviously English, and over the years I've seen many things that have gone from America to England in terms of trends, and in particular in the entertainment industry. And occasionally you see things coming back the other way. One of those things has been the proliferation of music festivals, in particularly England, but all over Europe. And through that process, it's common now for the festival to be mentioned in the same paragraph as Wimbledon or Formula One or the Open Golf, insofar as people look to a festival as one of the major things they do in the summer, normally in the rain in England. And observing that trend and loving music, we've as a company we've put together a festival that borrows from a lot of the things I've seen overseas, in a size event that's sort of boutique and intimate, and has curated music, fashion and food in a beautiful setting like the Hamptons.
Yeah, exactly. And we only get sun out here in the Hamptons. It never rains.
It never rains here, and
never, right?
And if it does, it'll be even more English.
Oh, exactly.
But it'll only rain for like 10 minutes or something.
Oh, exactly. Just to cool people off.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be some designer wellies and things like that.
How did you how have you picked the acts that are coming? Are they all new? Or I know Vampire Weekend, for example, great band to have here. How have you picked the acts?
It's a combination. Obviously, it's music to know. So by definition, it's music that I love, that our group loves, and that we think will resonate well. But the interesting thing about music is, no matter how old you are, generally you discovered music or exposed to music at a younger age, and that follows you through your life. And you love the bands that you loved normally when you were in your 20s, right, for most of your life. But ultimately, a lot of the sounds are fairly similar through the ages and through the generations. There are remakes of popular songs. So what we've tried to do is to curate a selection of music that will appeal to all age groups. There's some big acts in there, as you mentioned: Vampire Weekend, Ellie Goulding, Chromeo, Conor Oberst, Bright Eyes, that people will know. Tom Tom Club, obviously someone from my generation, who are going to do a bunch of Talking Head stuff, as well as the Tom Tom Club stuff. And then some lesser known acts that we will expose and who will hopefully break through. The analogy, if you use a drum, a musical analogy, people are on the underneath side of the drum and hopefully poking through once they've played our event. So. Yeah,
I mean, someone like Ellie Goulding, you think the Prince and Kate, are they going to get a VIP package to come over and see her?
We invited them. I think he might fly in his helicopter,
right.
Which would be great. But Ellie's obviously a huge star in the UK. She's has millions and millions of fans around the world. So we're just delighted to have her at our event.
Oh, absolutely. So. You talk about a helicopter, having this event at an airport. That's pretty cool. How did you pick that venue for this?
Yeah, we work with the town. The town obviously owns the land, and the town has been incredibly cooperative through this process. It's a public-private partnership, and we were able with the town to make the airport work. There's no real concerns for access. It has great access. Has a fair amount of noise there already,
right,
by virtue of the aeroplanes and helicopters taking on and off. We're at a sort of decommissioned runway, which is a natural amphitheatre, beautiful setting. So we're really thrilled. And there's a kind of rock star element of people arriving and leaving, in airplanes and helicopters, which kind of fits the whole environment.
No, I think that'd be great. Now, you mentioned partnership. There's obviously a big charity aspect to this event. And you've already given $100,000, which is a rare thing before the event even happens. Can you talk about that?
We have, and we in partnership with the town. The town has been no news to anybody. Has gone through some tough times, and in common with many people in life, quite frankly, there's been some cuts made, and some of the charities that have had benefit of town funds over the years are no longer getting that. So this was seen as an opportunity for a private initiative with the town as a public-private partnership to give back, and to do so in a way that didn't expose the town or the charities to the risk of the success or failure of an event, and that's why we've given the money up front, which is rare. You know,
Yeah.
and that's. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's something that's maybe been a little bit lost in some of the communique on the event. But I certainly don't know of any other event where somebody's actually said what they're giving before they know whether this event was successful or not. So,
Exactly. So it's a success already.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
On that front.
yeah.
And you guys got a Long Island Railroad train. I mean,
We
special
do.
train. That's another success.
We do. We've managed to get the Long Island Railroad to put a special train on, which is going to stop at Easthampton and Bridgehampton at 11 o'clock. We'll go back into the city on both days, so anybody living on Long Island can take public transport, or from the city in that fact. And then obviously in the morning of both events there are trains out here as well. So and then we will have a shuttle bus running to and from the train station to pick people up who travel on the train.
That's
so
awesome.
That's great. It's great for our community, and will hopefully ease, some of the traffic, the issues that we see in this community that time of year anyway. So,
Exactly. There's always a little bit of traffic out
it's always
here.
a bit busy, right?
How about the crowd that's going to come in? I mean, how many people are you expecting? What type of crowd are you looking forward to?
We, I'd love to see a crowd of all ages there, and we've tried really hard to try and accommodate that by inclusion of an amazing kids area, which has a huge kids castle that we've built especially for Music to Know. Has a bunch of arts and crafts and activities, a xylophone, some musical instruments, and we have some kids entertainers. So hopefully mum and dad, I have 2 young kids, can come to the event. The kids can play in the kids area. You can have a glass of wine. They can watch the acts and maybe take the kids home and return later on in the evening to see the main events. Or or if the kids love the event, my daughter Pippa loves Chromeo,
Right.
so she's going to be there all day. So,
So you'll be more tired at the end of the day.
yeah, and in terms of the numbers, we're permitted for 9,500. Due to the nature of the way we've sold tickets, in terms of being a mainly 2-day pass, we anticipate most people sort of coming and going at some stage. So, we think there'll probably be 6,000 people at the event at any one time, and over the course of 2 days, 9,500 each day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now that we're getting very close to the event, how are the last minute plans going? Jitters, excitement?
Yeah, any big event there's always things that you thought you planned for that you haven't. I'm a big believer in sort of team and people pulling things together, and and we're certainly doing that. We've got a couple of announcements that that are last minute. There's some neat acts in there as kind of surprises, and obviously it takes a bit of planning for those things. But we're on top of that, and we have 2 girls from New York who are going to. They have this neat thing where they DJ to play electric violin. So there's this kind of classical element to pop music, which is neat, and so we have these things going on as well, which they're going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
Awesome. That sounds like a great event.
Yeah.
We're all excited. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
I look forward to seeing you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Everybody, Chris Jones.
Thank you.